Is the Rustic Mechanicals. Now this is the only group of actors in West Virginia that is touring the state doing the works of William Shakespeare. This is the third show of our first full season of performances. Earlier this year we did The Taming of the Shrew, and then in the summer we did Much Ado About Nothing, and then obviously this show this year. You'll look on the back of your programs. Our season for next year is set. In the spring we will be touring The Tempest. Our summer outdoor tour is Twelfth Night, and then our fall show is The Merchant of Venice. I can tell you, this is the biggest tour we've ever had. We're very excited about that. From here, we go to a homeschool group show tomorrow night, where we're going to do a show for the homeschool group, and then a talk back with the kids and the cast and crew. And then next week, we finish our tour with a performance back in Clarksburg at our home performance space, as a fundraiser for the Scottish Heritage Society of North Central West Virginia. That's the group that puts on the Scottish Heritage Festival. We thought that was a nice fit. And then after that, we have a matinee on Sunday in Weston before we go to Charleston, where on Monday morning at 9:30, we are scheduled to perform for nearly 1,000 high school students at the Clay Center. So cool. We are super excited about that. And then after that, we're going to go perform for about 100 college students at West Virginia State. So we get the high school kids in the morning and the college kids that evening. Let me just say, please turn off your cell phones. We don't want any noise happening during the show. It is not copywritten work. Feel free to take any pictures or video or anything you want of this show. If it's really good quality, send it to me. We'd love to have it. Those of you, I don't think there's going to be a problem, but we do have some pretty heavy fight stuff happening, and it gets kind of close, but you're further away than most audiences we've had, so you'll be in a good shape right there. I do need to tell you that the show is PG-13. It is, our violence is mostly stylized. We don't have any gushing blood or anything like that, but it is kind of a brutal show, so there are some brutal moments in it, and we don't want, just leave now. No, I'm kidding. And finally, if you would like to support us and help us keep going to get to the Clay Center and all those things, we have a couple ways you can do that tonight. We have some t-shirts for sale. You can see me afterwards. And this is our company t-shirt that has our V logo on it. We have a couple of those for sale. And then we also have our Rustic Mechanicals shirt that has our troop logo on it, if you can see those. These probably won't fit me, but they might fit you. So please come and see me after the show, and you can take one home. And also, if you'd like to join our email list, which would be wonderful, but more than anything, there's an envelope inside of your program. An option in that envelope is to tell us how you found out about the show. That is huge for us, because as we continue to grow and move around, we like to know where we need to focus our efforts in terms of marketing. So let us know that, join our email list, and then if you think that $10 is a mere pittance for the theatrical experience you're about to have, you're welcome to put a donation in that envelope, and just again, come see me after the show. So, with that, I invite you to enjoy our Heston Farm stop on the Bloody Business Tour and the Rustic Mechanicals production of William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Woo!
Let's try this.
When shall we three meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun,
Where the place on the heath.
there to meet with Macbeth.
Fair is foul and foul is fair.
the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity.
Doubtful it stood. His two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak for brave Macbeth. With brandished steel he carved out a passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
But the Norwegian lord surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed this not our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, the sparrows, eagles, or the hare of the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Sir, I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So well that words become thee, as thy wounds, they smack of honor both. Go, get him searched.
God save the king!
Worthy Dane of Ross! Whence comest thou, worthy
From
Dane?
Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict till that Bellana's bridegroom, our Macbeth, confronted him. The victory fell on us.
No more shall that Thane of Cawdor deceive our bosom interest. Go, announce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, the noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine!
Sister? Where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap.
Oh.
And munched, and munched. Give me, quoth I. Anoint thee, witch. The rough-fed Runyon cried. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger, and in a sieve out in the sail. And like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a win!
Thou art five. And I another. I myself have all the other. And the very ports they blow, all the corners that they know in the shipman's card. I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall night nor day. Hey, upon his penthouse live. He shall live, a man forbid. Weary sea nights 9 times 9. Shall he dwindle, peak, and pine? Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. What could I have?
Oh, show me! Show me!
Here I have a pilot though, wrecked his homeward he did come. A drum, Macbeth doth come. The weird sisters hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus to go about, thrice to dine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Hence the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
What are these that look not like the inhabitants of the earth? Live you, or are you aught that man may question?
Speak if you can, what are you?
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of
All hail Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Oh, good sir, why do you start and seem to fear the things that do sound so fair? Noble partners, you greet us with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me.
Hail! Hail! Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier!
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more! By my father's death I know I'm Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives! A prosperous gentleman and maybe king! From whence you all this strange intelligence? Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are them. Whither? Are they vanished?
Into the air.
and what seemed corporal has melted his breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received Macbeth. The news of thy success as thick as hail came post with post, and everyone did bear his praises in the kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal masters thanks.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor. Hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did blind the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet kindle you into the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harms, that instruments of darkness tell us truth, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence.
This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill. Cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I'm Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise. And nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partners rap.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgot. Let us towards the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time the interim having waited, let us speak our hearts free each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then enough. Come, friend.
Is execution done of Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, with deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it.
It was no art to find the mind's construction in the face. But he was a gentleman upon whom I had built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
Come hither. We have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved. Let me hold thee and enfold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
Sons, kinsmen, Thane, we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, who we name hereafter Prince of Cumberland. Hence to Inverness, to bind us closer to you.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach.
My worthiest Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland? That is the step on which I must fall down. Or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfect report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with hail, King, that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner in greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell, Glums, thou art in Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness shouldst attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all it impedes thee. From the golden round which fate and metaphysical aid does seem to have thee crowned withal. What are your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad, say it.
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming.
Give him tending. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, oh, you spirits that tend on mortal thought, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe. Top full of direst cruelty, make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts, take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, ignite, pull thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Worthy Cawdor. The liquors have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and now I know the future in the instant.
Oh, my dearest love. Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters to beguile the time. Look like the time, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor, ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant scene. The air does sweetly and nimbly recommend itself unto our gentle senses. See our honored hostess. The love which follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we thank as love.
And all our service in every point, twice done and then done double.
Where is the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, has helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host, for we do love him highly, and shall continue our good graces towards him. By your leave,
If 'twere done when 'tis done, then 'twere well if 'twere done quickly. If the assassination could tremble up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, then that with this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here on this bank and shoal of time, we jump the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. first as I am his kinsman and his subject strong, both against the deed. And then again as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels. I've no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He is almost slept. Why have you left the chamber?
Have you asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now? To look so green and pale at what it did so freely. From this time such I account thy love. Wouldst thou have, which thou esteem'st the ornament of life and live, a coward! In thine own esteem letting, I dare not wait upon I would.
I dare do all that may become a man. He who dares do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. More than what you were. You would be so much more the man. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it were smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn, as you have done to this.
If we should fail!
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, will I, with wine, his chamberlain so convinced that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be as a fume. And when in swinish sleep their drudged natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan?
Will it not be received? Then when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Dares receive it.
Bring forth men children only. For thy undaunted nature should compose nothing but males. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
Oh, take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Look, all the candles are out. Here, take me that too.
Oh.
A heavy summons lies on me, and I would not sleep. Oh, give me my sword! Give me my sword! Hey, who's there? Who's there?
A friend!
Once, not yet addressed. The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure. He sent great lodges to your offices, and this diamond he greets your wife withal, by the name of the most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free him from.
I dreamt last night of the three wed sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words on that business, if you could find the time.
At your kind displeasure.
Well, if you will cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it.
Repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch it thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way I was going. Oh, mine eyes are made fools of the other senses. Or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgy and gouts of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Oh, thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps. For whiles I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. Peace. It was the owl that shrieked. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock the king with snores. I've drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there?
I fear they have awakened, and 'tis not done. I lay their daggers ready, you could not miss them. Had Duncan not resembled my father as he slept, I'd had done. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Do not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
I.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber? This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and the other cried murder that they did wake. I stood and heard them. But they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One did say, God bless us. The other, Amen. As though they had seen me with these angel's hands. Listening their fear. I could not say Amen when the other did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
Wherefore could I not say Amen? I in most need of blessing and all men stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more, Macbeth doth murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life.
What do you mean?
And still it cried to all the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep, so Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
You do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly things go. Get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from the place they must lie there? Go! Carry them and smear the living rooms with blood!
I will not go again! I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose! Give me the daggers! The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It is the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms with all, for it must seem their guilt.
What is that knocking? What hands are these? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all of great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hands?
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white.
Oh.
I have myself indeed. A little water clears us of his deed. We're not him. Be ye not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, it were best not know myself.
Oh, here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he would have old turning the key. Ooh, knock, knock. Who's there? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on expectation of plenty. Come in, farmer. Knock, knock, who's there? And the other devil. Here's an equivocator that could equivocate both sides of the scale against the other, but could not equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Oh, knock, knock, never at quiet. Who are you? This place is too cold for Hellgate. I'll porter it no longer. I had thought to let in some of all the professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. And on, I pray you. Remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir. We were carousing to the second cock. Oh, and marry, sir, drink is the great provoker of three things.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, takes away the performance. Much drink may be said to equivocate a man in lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him into a sleep, and then, giving him the lie, leaves him.
I do believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir.
Well, good morrow, noble sir.
Oh, good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thing? Not yet. He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I will take you to it.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you.
Here's the door.
I'll make so bold to call for it. 'Tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
Well, he does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. And as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
It was a rough night.
Explorer! What's the matter? Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. The most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stolen the life of the building.
What did you say, the life?
They knew his majesty.
Bid me not speak. See and speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell. Murder! Treason! Malcolm! Benboy! Donovan! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up! Up! And see the great doom's image. Malcolm Benboy is from your graves. Rise up to walk like sprites and countenance this horror. Ring the bell!
What is this business?
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Benboy! Our royal master's murdered!
What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I pray thee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I'd lived a blessed life.
What is amiss?
The royal father's murdered. Oh.
By whom?
Those of his chambers seem to have done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So are their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
The expedition of my violent love outran the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. And there, his murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love?
Help me, Hanso!
Look to the lady.
When we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
So do I.
So all.
Let us briefly put our manly readiness to meet in the hall together.
Well contented.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. Out to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortune will keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse, and shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left.
I have seen hours dreadful and sights strange, but this night surpasses all former knowings.
Oh, good Duncan's horses, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature as if to make war with mankind.
Just said they ate each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that look upon them. Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardians of their bones.
It's known who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth had slain.
Alas the day.
Malcolm and Donalbain are stolen away, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named to go to Scone to be invested.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to fight.
So I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. I do, lest our old roads sit easier than our new.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Blondes, all is the way women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it is said that it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself shall be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, may they not be my oracles as well and set me up in hope? Hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been at the gap in our great feast.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper and will require your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are, with the most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my lord.
We should have else desired your sound advice in council today, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricides, filling their hearers with strange invention. Hie you to horse. Adieu till you return tonight. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my lord. Our time calls upon us.
Farewell. Let every man be master of his own time for 7 o'clock tonight. We will, till supper time, keep ourselves alone. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royal nature reigns that which would be feared. There's none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. And then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, no son of mine succeeding. If to be so, then for Banquo's issue have I defiled my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. Who's there? Have you considered of our speeches? Know that it was Banquo in times past who kept you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self.
You made it known to us.
Then into your bosom I place this business, the execution of which takes your enemy off. Both of you know that Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So he is mine. And so it follows that I to your assistance do make love, masking from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Your spirits shine through you. I will call upon you within the hour, for it must be done tonight. To leave no rubs or botches in the work. Fleance, his son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than that of his father, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart.
We are resolved, my lord.
Then I will call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo thy soul's flight if it find heaven. must find it out tonight.
Say, is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king that I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Not sad, all spent, when our desire is got, without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy, than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with him that think on't? What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. And now we eat our meal in fear. And sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well.
Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged hoof we bright, and jovial amongst your guests tonight.
And so I pray be you. Give Banquo your remembrance. Present him eminence. And make our faces visage to our hearts, disguising what's within.
You must leave this!
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance live.
But in them, nature's copy's not eternal.
Oh, well, there's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund.
What is to be done?
Oh, be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night. Scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words? But hold thee still, for things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
Join with us.
Macbeth!
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do.
Hark! I hear the galloping of horses!
Give us a light there! Oh!
Banquo's horses go about! Alight! Alight!
Banquo!
Back to!
It will be rain tonight.
Let her come down!
Oh, treachery! Fly, man! Fly, thou masonry man! No!
There's but one down! The sun is fled!
We have lost the best half of our affair! Well, let's await and see how much is done!
You all know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourselves will play the humble host and mingle with society. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks, they are welcome.
Yeah. Be large in mirth. There's blood on your face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
Oh, is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance.
Most royal sir. Fleance has escaped.
Here comes my Finnegan! Get Banquo safe?
Aye, my good lord. safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head.
Get thee gone. We will hear ourselves again tomorrow.
Oh, my royal lord, you do not give us a cheer.
Sweet remembrance, sir. And now good digestion weighed on appetite and health on both. Here were our country's honor roofed with the gracious person of our banquo present, whom I would rather chastise for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, does lay blame upon his promise. Will it please your highness to grace us with your royal company?
The table is full.
Well, here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord.
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say that I have done it. Never shake your gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit! Worthy friends, my lord is often thus and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look upon that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, lost stars, why do you make such faces when all's done? You look but on a stool.
Prithee! See here, behold! Look low, how say you?
What? Quite unmanned in folly.
As I stand here, I saw him.
For shame!
Blood has been shed here now. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die and there an end. But now they rise again and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Amuse not at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Give us some wine. Feel full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table. And to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all in him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt! Quick, my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, it does but spoil the pleasure of the time.
Take any form but that, and my firm-set nerve shall never tremble. Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, hence! Why, see, being gone, I am a man again. I pray you sit still.
You have displaced the mirth.
Can such sights be and overcome us like a summer's cloud?
What sights, my lord?
I pray you speak not. A question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and let your health attend his majesty.
Kind good night to all.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning.
How sayest thou? That Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Oh, did you send to him, sir?
I hear it, by the way. Yet I will send again. There's not a one of them been in his house I keep a servant fee. I will send again tomorrow. When betimes I will to the Byard sisters, more should they speak. But for now I am bound to know by the worst means, the worst. I am in blood stepped in so far that should I wade no more, Returning would be as tedious as going on.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, we'll to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts. Things have been strangely
The
born.
son of Duncan, from whom the tyrant holds his due of birth, lives in the English court. Thither Macduff hath gone to pray the English king upon his aid to wake Northumberland, and more like seaward, that by with the help of these and him above, to ratify the work, we may then give to our tables meat, and sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquet bloody knives, all that we pine for now. And this report doth so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt at war.
May Macduff with him a blessing soon return, oh, to this, our suffering, desperate country, under her hand, occur.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Why, how now, Hecate? You look angrily.
Have I not reason, beldames as you are, saucy and overbold? How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never asked to bear my part or show the glory of our art. And what is worse, all you have done has been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own end, not for you. Great business must be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that distilled with magic sleights shall raise such artificial sprites as by the power of their illusion they shall draw him on to his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and raise his hopes of wisdom, grace, and fear. For as you know, security is mortal's chief enemy.
Let's make haste. She'll soon be back again. Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed,
Thrice and once the hedge pig wide.
Harpier cried, 'tis time, 'tis time.
double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burning, cauldron, bubble. Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone, days and nights has stirred to one. Sweltered venom, sleeping got, boil thou first in the charming pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burning, cauldron, bubble.
Fill it of a fenny steak, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm sting, lizard's legs and owlet's wings. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell-brought boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burning, cauldron, bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, bought and gulf of the rabid salt sea shark, roots of hemlock, diggers in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, tall of doubt and slips of yew, silver in the moon's eclipse, toes of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel pick and slab, tiger's children.
For the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, and trouble. Fire burning cauldron bubble.
Good with the baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it. Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
I'll answer.
Say if thou rather hear from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Come high, thyself and office deftly show.
Come. Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear speech, but say thou no.
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff! Beware the Thane of fight! Dismiss me, enough!
Thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Well then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? Yet I will make assurance double sure and take upon the fate. Thou shalt not live. What rises like the issue of a king?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham Wood to high Dungenate Hill shall come against him.
Well, that will never be. For who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix its earthbound root. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied! Deny me this, and the eternal curse fall on you all! Answer me!
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo, down! Oh, when will the line stretch on to the crack of doom? Horrible sight. But now I see it is true. For the blood-boltered Banquo smiles at me. Oh, what is it so?
Aye, sir. All this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Now this great king may kindly say, our duties in his welcome pay.
What is it so? Where are they gone? Gone. Gone. Come in without there.
Well, what is your gracious will?
Saw you the weird sisters.
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Be damned all that trust them. I did hear thee galloping on the horse. Who was it came by you?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, to bring you word Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord. The son of Duncan, sir, lives in the English court and is received of pious Edward. Thither has Macduff to pray the holy king upon his aid. Sir White North of the Lake and warlike Seward.
Castle Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, and give to the edge of the blade his wife, his babes, and all those unfortunate souls who claim them in his line. No more boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before my purpose cool.
What have you done to make him fly the land? You must have patience, my Lady Macduff.
He had none. His flight was madness. What our fears do not, our actions to make us traitors.
No, not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his title in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. All is a fear of nothing is the love.
I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further.
Now, how will you live? As birds do, Mother. What with worms and flies? Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one who swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Who must hang them?
By the honest men.
And the liars and swearers are fools. For there are liars and swearers and now who'll beat the honest men and hang them up. Oh, God help thee, poor monkey.
Oh, what wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him.
Fair dame, I am not to you known. Be not found here. Hence with your little ones. I dare abide here no further.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. To do good, sometimes accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayest find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
Oh, God! What, you egg?
Young fraud of treachery!
Come here.
Out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birth. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. I do crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Why in that rawness left you wife and child, without leave taking? I do pray you, sir, let not my suspicions be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Fare thee well, my lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkst for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. There would be hands uplifted in my right, and here from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that, when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, being compared with my confineless harms. There's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
Come, do not fear, my lord, to take upon you what is yours. We have willing dames enough.
Were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more.
Yet, do not fear, Scotland hath plenty to fill up your will, of your mere own, or with other graces.
But I have none! The king becoming graces, I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting it many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
O nation miserable! When shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. All my breast thy hope ends here.
Macduff, devilish Macbeth by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. I here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Old Seward, with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point is setting forth. Now, O together, why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile.
Well, more on.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither. Stand Scotland where you did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave.
What's the newest grief?
Each minute teems anew.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them. Now is the time of help. You or I in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to their dire distresses.
Speak their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Seward and 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
Keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and children savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven, give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
And my children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
My wife killed too.
I have said.
Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children! All my pretty ones, did you say all? All my pretty chickens in their damn it one fell swoop!
Dispute it like a man!
I shall do so! But I must also feel it as a man! Did heaven look on him and not take their part? Not for their own demerits, but for mine! Fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Bring thou this fiend of Scotland within myself and my sword's length, and if he escape heaven, forgive him too!
Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field. I have seen her rise from her bed and throw her nightgown upon her, yet all the while in a most fast sleep.
And in these slumbery agitations, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
Oh, you may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone.
See, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
Look how she rubs her hand.
I have known her continuing this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot. Out! Damned spot out, I say! 1, 2. 'Tis time to do it. Fie, my lord, fie! What? A soldier and a feared? What need we fear when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The fate of life and white! Where is she now? Oh, these hands never be clean! Oh, the perfume of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand!
This disease is beyond my practice.
Come, put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you, yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave.
Even so.
Come, give me your hand. What's done? It cannot be undone.
More need she, the divine, and the physician. God forgive us. Keep eyes on her. Keep from her the means of all disturbance, and still watch over her.
Good night, good doctor.
no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham would come to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. So fly, false stains. Go and mingle with the English epicures. The boy Malcolm, was he not born of woman? Comes thou that creep-faced loon? Where got thou that goose look?
There's 10,000.
Geese, villain?
Soldiers, sir.
What soldiers, Patch?
The English force, so please you.
Take thy face hence! Satan, I'm sick at heart. When I behold Satan, this push will cheer me ever else to seek me now. Satan! Satan, I say!
What is my gracious pleasure?
Hang all those that talk of fear. Bring me mine armor. I shall fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. How is your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with the thick-coming fancies that keep her from her sleep.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff that weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
I'll throw physic to the dogs, I'll none of it. Satan, bring me my armor. Again, give me my sword. Send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch. Good doctor. Find her disease.
Aye, my good lord.
I will have no fear of death or bane till Burnham Wood you come to Dunsinane.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand. The chambers will be safe.
What wood is this?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our hosts and make discovery airing report of us.
It shall be done.
We are no other than the confident tyrant, creep still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope. Yet none serve with him, but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
The time has come that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative, their unsure hopes relate, but certain issues strokes must arbitrate to advance the war!
Let fly our banners from the outward wall. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. What was that cry?
It's the cry of women, my good lord.
I'd quite forgot the taste of fear. Times have been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. But I've supped full with horrors. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. All our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow.
The poor player who struts and threats his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury and signifying. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Liar and slave.
Within the 3 mile, may you see it coming? I say a moving grove.
If what you say is false, then upon the next tree shall I hang thee alive till famine cling thee. But if what you speak is sooth, I care not if thou dost the same for me. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend who lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham would come to Dunsinane! And now a wood comes to Dunsinane. On! On! And out! Ring the alarm bell! Blow, wind, come, rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Now near enough. Your leaping screens throw down, and show like those you are.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath. Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death!
They've tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like must fight the course. So what's he that was not born of woman? Such a man I am to fear or none.
What is thy name?
Thou be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
Well, my name is
Macbeth. The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to my ear!
Thou wast born of woman, but swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by a man that's of a woman born.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
Of all men else I have avoided these. But get thee back! For my soul is too much charged with the blood of thine already.
My voice is in my sword!
Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one a woman born!
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be the tongue that tell me so! I will not fight thee.
And then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rare monsters are, painted on a pole and under it. Here may you see the tyrant.
Yeah! I will not yield to kiss the ground at young Malcolm's feet. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born, yet I will try the last! Lay on, Macbeth!
King, for so thou art. Behold, the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. Hail, King of Scotland. Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls. The first in ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, it should be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.